Welcome, this is your month in review. My name is Aurélie, I'm a Vedic astrologer. Sign up to the newsletter, follow this page, stay in touch. Let's get started to talk about November. Again, we're talking Vedic astrology, which means sidereal zodiac, so the positions of the planets against the tapestry of the stars. Let's talk about the month of November. On November 6th, Venus is going to move into Sagittarius, and it's going to be in a parivartana, an exchange with Jupiter, which is a great blessing for all things Venus, for relationship, for love, romance, fine art, for music, because Venus rules over this akasha, so this ability to relate, to be in touch, to share our emotions, to develop closeness and bonds with others. So this is a great time for all of that, especially as we get closer to this full moon on November 15. You can take your beloved to a sound bath at your local yoga shop. If you're not into that, you can also go listen to music, classical music, wherever you're at on the spectrum of relating to sound. If you are single and seeking relationship, this is a good time to clean up, dress up, go out with your girlfriends, say yes to invitations. It's auspicious for things relationship, and it's a transit, so it's a moment in time. Again, we're talking about Venus and Jupiter in an exchange, the two energies coming together and giving this aspect this month. Now we'll have a full moon on November 15. Also on November 15, we're going to have Saturn stationary. So the time leading to this November 15 will be Saturn strong. And in combination with this debilitated Mars that we currently have in the sky, be very careful around accidents and drive very cautiously. Anything that has to do with sharp objects and cuts and or driving incidents, be very mindful of that, especially as Saturn is very strong. Saturn has a way of giving us our karmic load, of delivering the karmic moments in time, and when it goes stationary, right before it turns direction forward or backward, it begins to have this energy of being very strong for all of us. Again, we also have good karma that gets delivered. We have difficult things that get delivered, but it shows very karmic knots, karmic moments in time. So again, beautiful blessing for a relationship. Be very cautious on your driving. Be a little mindful as we get to this 15th full moon on the 15th, with the Saturn being very strong. Moon in Aries. Now, one of the things that should be noted is the full moon in Aries on the 15th, which is the same day that Saturn goes forward, is right in between. It's at 29 plus degrees in between sidereal Aries and sidereal Taurus. So it's going to give a bit of a flavor of both. But the important thing to note is that Aries is a sign ruled by Mars, and it gives a little bit of a dosha because Mars is debilitated. So all in all, some mixed results. Good, very beautiful sambandha between Venus and Jupiter, some little karmic knots and things unfolding because of Saturn. This full moon being in a sign that's a bit unstable because the ruler of the full moon is fallen, gives a bit of a mixed bag of results, but things coming to fruition, some things kind of falling apart, a bit of both. Life. Right after this full moon on November 16th, we're going to see the sun enter the sign of Scorpio. Now on the day the sun begins its transit into a new sign, it's called Sankranti, and it's not auspicious to begin new things. In order for things to grow in your life, you need a strong sun and a strong moon. That is why when it's a dark moon, don't begin new things. And when the sun is in between sign, it's not strong enough to give results. So on Sankranti, we go about our day-to-day life. We can go do our job. We don't need to hide and be scared that something's going to fall on us. It's not like that. But we don't open a new yoga studio. There's no need to launch a project. Begin something new, yeah? It doesn't have the strength, the Shakti to ignite new things. So on the 16th of November, we'll see the sun in Scorpio. Again, Scorpio is a sign ruled by Mars, and Mars is debilitated, so a little bit of a dosha throughout the months, with a little extra tamas, a little extra darkness to this sun in Scorpio, this mystical sign of hidden things and murky waters and transformation. Everybody loves to hear about the Scorpio. And because the sun is moving into Scorpio, it means the next dark moon, which is the time the sun and the moon meet in the sky, will also be in Scorpio. So again, knock, knock, what needs to change? What needs to transform? And what are you hanging on to for dear life that you don't want to let go of, even though it's causing you suffering and pain? Let it go. You can do it. So this dark moon is going to come on November 30th. We'll have a little bit, I'll do a little bit more of a deep dive into Scorpio dark moon, but just be aware at the end of the month we'll have this dark moon. And on November 26th, I don't think I need to say anything about this. Mercury goes retrograde. There's so much all of you know about this Mercury retrograde. You love this Mercury retrograde. I love you for it. And so Mercury's gonna go retrograde. And you'll hear about it from everyone, so I don't need to cover it. But one of the cool things I want you to know is that one of the very omens, it's a good omen to see green parrots. There's some in Varanasi. One day I was walking on the Ghats and those beautiful green parrots appeared, and I was just like, oh, the blessing of Mercury, of Buddha. So it's an omen of Mercury to see green parrots, very bright green, and this color of green parrot activates Mercury. So just be aware of that. On another technical note, you'd be interested to know that if you have a Mercury retrograde in your chart, when Mercury goes retrograde in transit, it kind of gives a certain it helps because it's like your own retrograde is matching the retrograde out, and it kind of does a little bit of a banga, so it helps you with communication. So just be aware of that. Technically, for half the people, who have this in their chart, it's going to be a bit good, and for the other half, it will be a bit difficult. Yeah. All right. I'm sending you much love. The last it wasn't it was Amavasya. The Diwali message, the sound was very low. I apologize for that. Thank you for listening anyways. I appreciate your support always. And I'm sending you much love. And I'll come back on here. We'll talk some more. All right. I think actually our next session is going to be on... I'm going to do a video on Dharma Devata Atmakarka, and I'm going to do another video on Mahadasha, how to find your Mahadasha. That's going to be a how-to. So it'll be more on the Deva.guru, finding your Mahadasha, and knowing when is your Mahadasha and whatnot. So just be aware. All right. Sign up to the newsletter, subscribe, come back, share with friends, be part of the journey. If you want a reading, I give readings to people. I love having people in office. It's my joy and my love. And come see me. All right.